Today we're shading the four forms of sphere, cube, a cylinder, and a cone. The supplies that we're using will be drawing pencils. These are a type of drawing pencil that do not have any wood, so they're called woodless. The whole thing is made out of graphite. And these are good for filling large areas with shading in particular. We have a drafting brush in case we make some eraser dust. We can erase away our eraser dust without disturbing the drawing. We have a bunch of different size blending stumps. This is for blending areas of value into each other smoothly, and it also kind of gets into the tighter spots by being a pointy shaped blender. We have a pencil sharpener, and this is the Faber-Castell dust-free art eraser. We'll see about that. I have never heard of an eraser like this. The only other dust-free eraser that I really know of is the kneaded eraser. This is a kneadable art eraser. It can stretch and pull apart, and then you can reconstitute it. And this is the only truly dustless eraser that I've known of. And there's a special use for this particular eraser, and I'll go over it later on. Okay, we also need a ruler. A standard ruler is fine. And the first thing I'm going to do is get an H2 pencil. So this pack comes with 4 grades of pencils here. Or they're calling it H2, but it's 2H, HB, which is a number 2 pencil, a B pencil, what is this? An HB, a 2B, a 4B, and a 6B pencil. So these are pretty dark pencils, so we'll use a HB pencil. The higher the number B pencil, the darker and black the value is. We're going to draw a horizon line. It could be pretty high up on the paper, so make it as parallel as possible. Okay, like that, to the top of the paper. The horizon line is the same as eye level. So that's right there is where the viewer's eye level is when they're looking at the horizon. That's how tall the viewer's eyes are. So anything below that line, you should see the top of, like the top of the box. Anything that is above the horizon line, you will not be able to see the top of. So what we're going to do right now is just draw a sphere, do the best you can freehand. If you want to go and use some sort of a tracer, you can use the bottom of a bowl, whatever you like, but draw a nice big sphere. I can't draw a sphere perfectly on the first try, so what I do is I'm just going to very, very lightly sketch the best I can. I'm using a HB pencil. If you have a 2H pencil, that would be great. A harder pencil so that you can only see the light outline of the circle, because right now we are focusing on shading form. You could say modeling form. That means the same as saying shading form. And we're not really putting the importance on line. Let's pick the direction of the light source. So let's say the direction of the light source is right here in the upper left hand corner. Okay, so the light is coming from the upper left hand corner, which means a shadow is going to fall on the lower right hand corner. The shadow should take the general shape of the object. So, if it was a human being, there would be a human being shaped shadow. This is a ball or a sphere, so it should take the It should be an oval shape. And it should kind of be more elongated if the sun is kind of lower in the sky. The shape of the shadow depends upon the angle of the light source. So if the sun is low in the sky, let's say it's kind of like toward, sunset, the sun is low, you're going to have a really long, elongated shadow. In fact, you might have a shadow that runs off the page. If it's higher up in the sky, like around noontime during the summer, you might have a shadow that falls directly underneath the sphere. So it depends on what you want to do, where you want to put the light source. This is fine right here. Okay, so I just want to make my oval a little skinnier at the top. And I'm going to use this so-called dust-free eraser. We'll see if that works. Lies. There is some dust, but it's actually not as much dust as a regular pink eraser or white rubber eraser. So this is not bad. This is not bad. And then you just take the little drafting brush and you brush it away. Okay. So the first thing that we can do is take a really, really dark pencil, the darkest pencil we have, which is the 6B. This is just a very inexpensive brand from AC Moore called Pro Art. It's just like really student grade, but it does, more than does the job. So we're going to go right here on the lower edge of this sphere, and we are going to shade very, very dark. The thing about these pencils that are all graphite is they can be very brittle, so you can break them very easily. So if you do that, just don't worry. You could still use the small pieces, and don't throw them away, and don't get too upset over it, because it will happen when you hold on to the pencil a little too hard. You can snap it. So a cast shadow, which this is a cast shadow, is very, very dark directly underneath an object. This is called your umbra. The shadow also gets dark and fades closer to the object and fades to a medium value, and then it fades to an even lighter value and an even lighter value as you go toward the edges. So each of these value areas, these zones, have a name. The dark zone is called the umbra. The middle tone is called the penumbra, and the lighter value is called the antumbra. Those are the three areas of a shadow, the three value areas of a shadow. So the darkest area, once again, is the umbra. The mid values are the penumbra, and the antumbra is where the lightest values are. So this is not just actually an art term, it's a scientific term for the different parts of a shadow, a cast shadow. So it can be also found in science. So I have a little piece of paper towel. I fold it into a little square, and then fold it again into a little triangle, a little wedge. And what I'm doing here is getting rid of my pencil strokes. It depends on, if you like that look. If you want a very, very smooth looking shaded, textureless sphere and table, let's pretend that the sphere is sitting on a table, then use a paper towel to wipe away all your pencil marks. And if you use a clean part, it actually can remove some of the pencil. So for the antumbra, I don't mind removing some and kind of wipe it up like this. Okay.